Amy Goodman with Nermeen Sheikh. Our guest is Vicky Ward, investigative journalist. Her new book, Kushner Inc., Greed, Ambition, Corruption, the extraordinary story of Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump. Why don't we just begin with the title, Vicky?
Right.
Kushner Inc.
Yeah.
Why did you call it that?
Because I think that, all roads in the book lead back to the Kushner's giant financial problems, and that everything Jared and Ivanka have done in this White House is about self-service, not public service. These are people who both grew up in cultures that have extraordinary disdain for rules, including the rule of law. They think the rules only apply to other people. Jared has very strong feelings about government, going back to what happened to his father in 2004 when, he pled guilty. The government, Chris Christie and his team of prosecutors in New Jersey had extraordinary leverage. And I think that
Why don't you tell that story for those who are not familiar with what happened? This is before Chris Christie was governor, prosecutor in New Jersey, and what happened to Charles Kushner?
Well, Charles Kushner pled guilty to basically 3 counts: tax fraud, illegal campaign contributions. But the most sort of scandalous and notorious thing was that he set his own brother-in-law up in a very sordid sting involving a prostitute. That was witness tampering. And Christie had a lot of leverage over him and Jared was aware of a lot of this. And I think that, I included it in the book because it's the only way that you can understand the intensity of the hatred that I think is engendered in Jared towards Christie, but towards the system, right? This is, there's a Kushner mentality, and Charles had it too, that, we're not here to, we don't wait to be accepted by Harvard. We pay our way into Harvard.
And explain that.
So Charles Kushner's company sent a check to Harvard University for $2.5 million. Jared Kushner ended up going to Harvard. He was at his high school in the 3rd track in his class there were 5 tracks. He was in the 3rd. No, it was unheard of
We should be more sustainable. Amazon Business can steer us toward more sustainable products. How did you?
They had gone to Qatar. This story reveals that they also talked to a developer in Saudi Arabia. They went to the Korean Sovereign Wealth Fund, talked to some Israeli banks and insurers as well, trying to find one of 2 things: either a way to refinance the mortgage on that tower, or in most cases to buy into this very expensive, very grand redevelopment plan they have for the building.
President Trump's son-in-law has a 41-story size problem at 666 Fifth Avenue. Jared Kushner's company still holds half of the $1.2 billion mortgage and hasn't paid a cent, forcing the Kushners to look overseas for investors. Caleb Melby's recent story on the Bloomberg takes a deep dive into Kushner's struggles with the property. Caleb joins us now. Caleb, great stuff. Walk me through what's the new here.
They met for a half hour in December. Jared Kushner, the president's son-in-law and senior advisor, and Sergei Garikov, a prominent Russian banker and close associate of Vladimir Putin.
Как дела в партии? Как ваши планы осуществляются? Все нормально?
Who is this Russian banker, and why is his meeting with Kushner now under congressional and FBI scrutiny? Sergei Garikov is the chief of
Biden, Denmark.
Find the hotel, vacation rental, cabin, castle, or chalet you want on Kayak. Search now.
One of the statements that you made in the tail end of the campaign, in the midterms, that
here we go.
That well, if you don't mind, Mr. President, that this caravan was an invasion. As you know, Mr. But do you think that you demonized immigrants in this election to try to keep
them? I want them to come into the country, but they have to come in legally. You know. Wait. Quiet.
There's been a report out that 48 bomb threats have been made against Jewish centers all across the country in the last couple of weeks. There are people who are committing anti-Semitic acts or threatening to.
You see, he said he was going to ask a very simple, easy question. And it's not. It's.
Since you're attacking us, can you give us a question? Mr. President-elect.
Go ahead.
Mr. President-elect, since you are attacking our news organization, can you give us a chance?
Your organization
You are attacking our news organization.
Your organization
Can you give us a chance to ask a question, sir?
Go ahead.
Sir, can you state, Mr. President-elect,
go ahead.
Can you state categorically,
She's asking a question. Don't be rude.
Mr. President-elect, can you give us a question?
Don't be
You're
rude.
attacking us. Can you give us a
Reporter.
Thank you very much. Thank you. President Xi in China as an example. What I mean by that? When we're down by 30 billion, 40 billion, 60 billion, task as well. Steel, it doesn't have a country. And it's true. So this is more than just pure economics. This is about defense.
Mr. President, can you just make clear right here, what do you or what did you